It's the NFL on EA Sports, and the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Denver Broncos, and it's coming up next on Madden NFL 25.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us at the foot of the Rockies, just west of downtown Denver at Empower Field at Mile High. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, happy to be with you. And CD, as we get this thing going, give the folks at home something to keep their eye on.
The running game for both teams, because I think this is going to be an old-fashioned, old-school type of a game. Physical, who wins up front, who runs the ball the best and controls the clock, they will come out the victor.
And off we go from Denver. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their rookie QB, the young man out of Oregon.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
Here now, 2nd and 4. On play action, here's Nix. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's 3rd down.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Here's Nix. A short throw to Ingram, and he will have a Broncos first down, although it doesn't appear to be by much. He needed 4, and he got 4 on 3rd down. Well, they kept it simple there, CD, only needing the short gain to move the chain, so they didn't want to go with a deep throw. They just go with that safer, shorter throw and able to convert.
Nothing wrong with that at all, partner. Check the box, right? Make sure you pick up the first down. Offense is getting established. You're moving the ball. You're not turning it over. Check, check, check. They like what they're doing early in the game.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it's 2nd down.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
Here's a 2nd and 5. Here's Nix once more. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation. Throwing Nix. And this is going to be incomplete.
That's well done defensively. They get the pressure they needed on 3rd down. All the receivers are locked up tight, and they force that quarterback to just throw it away.
On 4th down, Matt Hawk to punt it away. The back deep for the Steelers is Calvin Austin. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Steelers now for their first drive. Under center is a 6'2", 225-pound signal caller, Aaron Rodgers.
Every time he leads his team out, there's no questioning. He's put the work in to earn his place in the NFL. There's no shortage of stories we've heard throughout his career about the effort he puts in to be in this spot. And that motivates everybody on his team.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming. They toss it to Warren. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
There's so many times during camp and practice that you get bored as a player doing regular drills. But how about that shed and skate drill right there by the linebacker? You do it each and every day. Get the blocker away and get into the backfield and make a big-time tackle. That's what we just saw.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run it. Warren. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. Now a 2nd and 6. Here's Rodgers. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down. Here's Warren. He'll take this to the 46. Here's 2nd and 7. Throwing now is Rodgers. He'll find Metcalf. That's good for a first down, his second catch of the opening drive. Really a solid start here on the opening drive, Charles. He's now 4 of 4, and they're already in plus territory.
Brandon, he's been so precise to start this game, like we're watching an operation taking place right now. Master surgeon at work.
Now a play fake. Rodgers. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And this one almost intercepted. Had a chance to come down with it in the end zone, but could not hang on.
They were maybe hoping for a little bit of a back shoulder fade there, and that's a play that's been in vogue the last few years in all aspects of football. But they couldn't get the hook up there.
To throw is Rodgers. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a third down. To throw, it's Rodgers. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos 21. Give them 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. Well, that's not just his first, not his second, already his third completion here on the opening drive. And I think it's safe to say that getting him the ball in this game, one of their top priorities.
And a top priority for the defense has got to be finding ways to cover him, and I don't think you can have one basic coverage to get it done. You have to throw a number of coverages at him, make him think as he's running downfield, and hope you can create a little bit of havoc.
So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that'll bring up second down. Well, they're not hiding who their central focus is on offense. Charles, he already now has 4 receptions here on this opening drive.
And I know people who are watching the game are thinking, did they forget about him in the defensive game plan? But it's actually been the opposite. They're giving him a lot of attention, but he's been very creative and savvy in his route running and finding seams and openings in order to create these completions.
And he is going to lose yardage here. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5.
In today's NFL, we're accustomed to the tight end getting downfield and creating plays and wreaking a little havoc in the secondary. Not on this one, though. They diagnosed that one really well.
Tried the dump off, lost yardage. And again, it's Rodgers. That is caught, and he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. 14 yards that time for number 14.
Oh, that's a sharp throw right there on 3rd down. They're looking to get the first points of the game, and they certainly don't want to be on a field goal. So that's a nice job to get the hook up and set up a 1st and goal.
So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. Warren, touchdown, Pittsburgh. So that a great sequence for these guys to begin the ball game. They force the punt on one end, then come right down the field and score on the other.
And that's a great example of leaning on each other and building a little momentum that way. How about the defense forcing the punt, turns it over to the offense with confidence, and they take it downfield and score.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And he'll put it through to make it 7-0 Steelers. That one was an extended drive, 14 plays all told. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. The last series for him, a little disappointing, forced a punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. And he's going to have the hook up to Sutton. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 14 yards that time for number 14.
I tell you what, when you're down on the scoreboard, you've got to look to your stars, and that's what they do here to start the drive. I wouldn't be surprised if they looked his way a few more times in short order. That one, well designed, and it's a quick 1st down.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that will bring up 2nd down.
Oh, I see you nodding your head along with me, partner, because it's pretty obvious what they were trying to do there on the drag route. With his speed, they're hoping he can turn the corner and maybe take this to the house. But that was excellent work defensively to make sure once he caught it, he wasn't going anywhere.
Now it's Nix. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Nix looking to throw again. They'll set up the screen. It's McLaughlin. And this won't do it. He needed 6. He only got halfway there.
Yeah, and on 3rd down, you know those pass rushers, they're in the starter's block. They're just waiting for the pistol to fire. You can almost hear the defensive coaches on the sideline pre-snap. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Really good job there of identifying it and making the play to force 4th down.
On is the punter Hawk as he gets this one away. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their 2nd offensive possession. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got him the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
Now it's 2nd and 10. Now Rodgers. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Eluding the pressure right. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. What can't Aaron Rodgers do? The legwork there getting him the first.
I'm not sure he falls under the category of mobile quarterback, but he's athletic enough that if you don't keep your rush lanes intact, he finds a way to hurt you.
As coaches like to say, I wouldn't call him a burner, but enough there in the tank. Rodgers now to throw. A short one there to Freiermuth. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
2nd and 7, operating from the 34. Throwing is Rodgers. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Up the middle they go. It's Warren, and he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. Pat Surtain up to make the play. Now 2nd and 5. Rodgers going to throw. And his throw here's incomplete.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test him early. But it proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. That one out wide and intercepted. And the Broncos are going to get possession of the football as time will run out on this 1st quarter of play. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter about to begin from Denver. It's the Broncos in possession of the football as they get set to start their drive with a 1st and 10. To throw, here's Nix. Throw left side complete. That's McLaughlin. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down. The give is to McLaughlin. And he gets it down to the 32. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. On the handoff, McLaughlin. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. From the 24 now, here's 2nd and 2. Here's McLaughlin. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. Nix to the air. This will be caught just inside the 10. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be second down. To throw is Nix. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield in man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
This offense so far on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Operating from the gun, Nix. He throws it on the move, but can't connect as that falls incomplete.
I tell you what, that's a veteran play from a guy in his first season in the NFL. A lot of rookies will try and force something there. He thought better of it, and that was the right decision.
Now Lutz for the field goal try. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. The kick by Lutz is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So the defense able to force the interception, and the offense working their way into field goal range and able to get 3 out of it.
Yeah, and give them credit for that. They took the ball, maneuvered it downfield, and while they couldn't get exactly what they wanted, which was a touchdown, they did get 3 points out of it, so they paid off what the defense gave them. Both sides will be thrilled with that.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. And the Steelers set to take the field. But not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting first downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it.
Now 2nd and 3. They fake the give. Now Rodgers. Pass incomplete.
Even in today's NFL, when we think of the tight end position now as really a glorified wide receiver, we're still asking a lot of those guys. They have to block as well, and every now and then, they don't come down with the football.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Now run straight ahead with Warren. And he will have a Steelers first down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And in the next breath, they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. Ball on the 40 now. Here's a 2nd and 8. Now Rodgers. A short one there to Freiermuth. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. Now it's Rodgers. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Steelers first down, and he's going to have it by plenty. Able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 2.
I like the fact that they didn't overcomplicate things on that call. 3rd and 2. Just run the quick little hitch, which they did. Ball's out of quarterback's hands. And yes, indeed, they pick up the first down.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 46. Here's Rodgers to throw. A short one there to Freiermuth. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
Here's 2nd and 3. On play action, it's Rodgers. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Textbook coverage right there. Played the ball, never lost sight of where it was headed, and stayed in perfect position to make a play on it. Able to keep the receiver and the quarterback in his sight lines.
So 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive, and now they face a 3rd and 3 here. Rodgers to throw once more. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Steelers first down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3.
As you know, so many things in the passing game are based on yardage. Sometimes it's just based on timing, and that's what we saw right there on that play. 3rd and 3, just get the ball right to the receiver.
It was the hitch route. And tell us, what is the hitch route?
Yeah, just take really one step like you're driving off the line of scrimmage, get the defensive back on his heels, get the ball out to the receiver, and he does the rest.
So from the 25, this is 2nd and 5. Running left, it's Warren. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier, but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. Here's Rodgers. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete. So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. From the left hash, it's a 42-yard attempt. Boswell's kick is good, and they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. And Denver getting set to take the field. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Only able to gain a couple there, and that'll make it 2nd down. Here's Nix. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Sutton. That'll go for a gain of 7. And now 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. On the ground, here's McLaughlin. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1. You know the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive lineman, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a first down.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Throwing Nix. He completes this to Sutton. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, mini camp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
Carry from McLaughlin. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Looking to throw. Nix, a short throw to Ingram. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And it's 3rd and 4 now. Operating from the gun. Nix. He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Broncos first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4.
3rd and 4 is always a tough call. Maybe a little too long to run for it, but not too long to hit him on the quick slant. And that was well executed. Found the window and zipped it right in there.
They'll run. It's McLaughlin. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. It's a gain of a yard, and it takes us to the 2-minute warning. Second and 9. Back to throw. Nix. To the right side, he's got Bailey. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 22-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Nix. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. No gain on the play. And it'll be 2nd down.
That's a nice job defensively to make sure everyone was accounted for, because ordinarily you pick up the guys downfield and sometimes you forget about the running back. In this case, they did not and dropped him for no gain.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Looking middle, and that's complete. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Third and 5. Here's Nix once more. That is caught, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Evan Ingram, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Broncos are an extra point away from tying the ball game here in the final minute of the first half.
On that 3rd down call, the goal was to get the ball to their tight end and pick up a first down, but he wasn't satisfied with just that. They got the first down. That was the gravy. He decided to take in the whole meal and rumbled in for a touchdown.
Will Lutz on for the point after. And he'll put it through, and that evens us up at 10 apiece. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And Evan Ingram able to finish it off with a touchdown reception. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Steelers offense and Aaron Rodgers getting set for their next drive. And he's done everything you could have asked for coming in. He's spread it around. He hasn't taken many chances. And he's potentially on his way to a big game throwing the football. To throw, it's Rodgers. A short one there to Freiermuth. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. This 2nd and 4. To throw is Rodgers. He'll find Metcalf. Now the Steelers use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Throwing now is Rodgers. Over the middle, complete. That's Warren. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Second down and 8. Rodgers again now. This one finds Wilson downfield. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A big play there, as the first half is winding down. And the Steelers have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half. Extra point now by Boswell. He's got it as they go up by a total of 17-10. Just a 4-play drive that time, and it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Broncos going to get one more possession in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, and he'll work this back to right around the line of scrimmage and surrender there. Here's 2nd and 10. Now it's Nix. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. T.J. Watt from his outside linebacker spot gets him down there for a loss of 4. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
We saw a solid first half out of running back Jaylen Warren. He had a touchdown run that helped get his guys this halftime lead.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Well, the Steeler offense ready to get going to begin this third quarter. Hey, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half it didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
2nd and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Got his man. It's Warren. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves him with 3rd and 9 looming. Rodgers going to throw. And the Broncos get there and take him down. It'll go as a sack, a loss of 3, and in turn, it takes us to a 4th down.
That's exactly what they were looking for coming out to start the third quarter. Get a sack, get off the field, get the momentum going in their direction.
Get the ball back to your offense, right? Get that momentum because, hey, this lead is very, very slim. Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. 43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return, and the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 37. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. They'll come up 2nd and 7. Off the play fake. Here's Nix. And he'll slide to a halt here. Still a little shy of the 1st down marker. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down. To throw. Here's Nix. And fights him off. And that is incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Denver. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. So not just running into the punter, but roughing the punter.
And I'm struggling with this one. You know, you're watching it, partner. Is it more the first rather than the latter? This is a tough one. Almost feels like he felt like he had to call it on that play.
Nix to the air. And incomplete. A drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. Now a handoff up the middle. It's McLaughlin, and he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line. They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down. To throw is Nix. That's into the hands of McLaughlin. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. 9 yards on the play and a 1st down.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
Operating from the gun, here's Nix. Finding Sutton on the out route, who makes the catch. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play.
And it's pretty evident that this passing game has been frustrated so far. They haven't really moved the ball the way we might have expected, but this is a good pickup here for the first down.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Off the play fake, Nix. And they're not able to hook up there, incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They'll go play action with Nix. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Oh, my, you know that's one that he'll want to have back. I mean, they did everything right. Got the linebackers commit on the play action. He just flat out missed.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Now Lutz for the field goal try. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. The kick by Lutz is good. And that will cut this lead back down to 4 now. It's 17-13. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Now they can't bring him down. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. 4 yards there on the keeper, but still going to bring up a 3rd down. Rodgers now to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Steelers first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4.
This is a nice job of just taking what the defense is going to give you on 3rd down. You're not looking for a big play downfield. You just want to find something that can get you past the marker. They found it and were able to keep the drive moving.
On the run, it's Warren. And this one not going anywhere. They get him at the 44 for a gain of just a yard. Second and 9 from the 44. Now a run with Warren. And he'll get maybe a couple, if that, up to the 46. A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on third down. Now it's Rodgers. Over the middle, that's caught by Metcalf. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Going old reliable there to the slot on third down.
And the slot position has become the bane of just about every defense's existence, because how do you cover? Do you go with a bigger guy to try and use size? You got to try and go with a quicker guy, and sometimes you even get out quick there. Very difficult to match up with that slot receiver. That's why they keep going back to him.
And he's had the hot hand. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. George Pickens, 47 yards. And they are able to add on to their advantage. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? R-A-C?
Run after catch. And he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
Boswell for the extra point. And that one pushes the lead up to 11. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it was finished off by a George Pickens touchdown grab. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. So the Broncos coming out now. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. That'll give them 8 that time, and they'll be left with second and a couple.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
On play action, here's Nix. He finds his man, complete. That's McLaughlin. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And now 2 yards to go on third down.
Give him the completion, no gain, but let's focus in on that tackle. Open field tackling, the hardest thing to do in the game, I believe.
But when you get outside the tackle box, it becomes a numbers game. The defense had more than they could block. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. Denver has a first down on the 15-yard play. They'll keep it on the ground. McLaughlin. And a good physical run that time. He's going to wind up gaining 5 on that one. Ball on the 35. Here comes 2nd and 5. Throwing Nix. They'll set up the screen. It's McLaughlin. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Denver has the first down. The play going for 15 yards.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going? Here's Nix.
to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Not only did they drop what looked like an interception in the end zone, they blew a golden opportunity to shift the momentum.
Second and 10 now. Third quarter action in Denver. Looking to throw. Nix. That is caught by Vele. And the Broncos are looking at first and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. McLaughlin is not going to get back to the line of scrimmage as they'll tackle him at the 3. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Brandon, that's what you call being manhandled at the point of attack, and I know the offensive line gets a lot of blame for that one. But occasionally, the defense just knows what you're going to do. Maybe they scouted it perfectly. Maybe someone tipped it off. But on that play, it had no chance.
Buying time to his left. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's third down. They'll try and throw. Here's Nix. Flush to his right. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Bo Nix punching it in from a yard away. And the Broncos are back within a score. They were looking to pass the ball there, but they forgot to account for the man with the football.
Yeah, I can hear people right now saying, well, why don't you have a spy in your defense, someone who will dance with him and go where he goes? Well, oftentimes if you utilize a spy, you've taken away someone in coverage as well. And oftentimes, the spy, not as athletic as the guy he's trying to keep up with, so he gets defeated anyway.
And he turns third and goal into a touchdown. They're going to try and run. And he'll get in for the 2 points. And that'll cut the deficit down to just a field goal. Only had a couple of yards to gain there on the 2-point conversion, and they were able to do it.
And how many teams shy away from running the football in the 2-point conversion? They treat 2 yards as if it were 20. If you're a good team running the ball, go to your strength. Go ahead and push it into the end zone.
Yeah, they did. It worked. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. The Steelers offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And we'll take you through some of the highlights here. You'll notice he had a hand in a lot of them so far. He's got this offense rolling right now. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Their lead down to a field goal now as they start with a 1st and 10. And incomplete. George Pickens the intended target, and that'll bring up second down. Now Rodgers. He's got this to Pickens. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That'll put him at 95 receiving yards now as he's got a 1st down.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
On play action, Rodgers. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. A loss of 3 on the sack made by multiple defenders. Well, on that one, they go with a play fake, CD, but I don't think anybody really was fooled. All eyes were fixated on the quarterback, and they got him to the ground.
And to run this play successfully, you've got to make sure that everyone is doing their part. You actually have to sell this play. You've got to sell the run action. Otherwise, why do you stop at the running back? You just run straight for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. Here's Rodgers. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. To throw, it's Rodgers. And that is incomplete.
Give them credit for excellent coverage, tight coverage. They're doing a lot of things that we talk about in basketball. They're causing disruptions in the passing game. And as long as that continues, it'll be tough for them to gain any momentum throwing the ball downfield.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. And the football going back over to the Denver Broncos. And you sense the tide turning. They scored, then their defense forced the punt, and now a chance to ultimately take the lead here late. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Sutton. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, first down.
And you're starting to sense the momentum possibly changing just a little here. You get the touchdown your previous drive, then you force a punt, and now this is a good positive play here to start this drive. And you can just sense the tide starting to turn here in a one-score game.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Flushed out right. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Working out of the gun is Nix. Dancing to his left. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down. Up the middle they go. It's McLaughlin. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. So a tough situation to overcome here. 3rd and 17. Now it's Nix. And he's going to have the hook up to Sutton. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. They get 15, but they still needed a little bit more. 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. The visitors' offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. A handoff for Warren. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. Warren will try the right side. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. On the give, it's Warren. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 9 big yards on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
I know you're trying to wring every yard out of a run, but I think 9 yards there is ideal in this situation.
Yeah, now next couple plays, you only need 1 yard. Keep that clock rolling with a lead here in the 4th.
Yeah, what you're saying is maybe if it takes you 1 or 2 more runs to get the first down, that's extra time, extra plays. Really hurts the team on defense.
A throw out wide going to be incomplete.
And when you're in a one-score game in the second half, now's not the time to force the football to places where you shouldn't. And that's a smart decision to just get that one out of there.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Warren, and he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. They end up getting stuffed twice after that 9-yard gain back on 1st down.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. Call that 49 yards on the punt. They do get 7 back on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Denver's offense now set to go. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. From the 38 now, here's 2nd down at a yard. Off the play fake, Nix. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. That'll go as a pickup of 8.
If they get a game-changing score on this drive, it's going to be because of plays like that. That run was pure heart. Took it himself, found a way to reset the downs, and advance the ball.
They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, 1-score game. 1st and 10 here. Up the middle they go. It's McLaughlin. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver first down.
Well, that last run for a first down, it really should be the last straw for the defense. I don't care how many they've had in the box. They need to add more people.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he's going to get this inside the 30. So following the hold, They're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down. Back to throw. Nix. And he will find his man Sutton. That's complete. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 18. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. To throw, here's Nix. Throw left side, complete. That's McLaughlin. Down he goes at the 10 with a solid pickup of 8. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
In motion left goes Sutton. Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle. And this won't be enough to pick up the 1st. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. Nix to the air. That is caught. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. These two have hooked up 9 times now this afternoon as they pick up the 1st.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Well, that's a group that's well aware of what's going on the scoreboard right now. Excellent work by them to push them back. That defense, they want to make sure the worst they come out of this with is a field goal and a tie game.
To throw is Nix. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
But based on the play we just saw there, he might not be the guy you want to challenge in coverage on these all-important snaps. He certainly looks dialed in right now.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. Looking to throw. Nix. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. The holding penalty, that puts them in an unenviable spot here as they try again on 3rd and goal. Back to throw. Nix. And he's got his man in stride, complete. 11 yards, but still not enough. 4th down.
Well, you know me pretty well now. You know what I want to do after that completed pass. 4th down, down by 3. What do I want to do here?
You want to go for it. You might be tempted. I think they need to kick it.
Yeah, someone might have to overrule me. Get the kicker out there, tie this game up.
The kick by Lutz is good. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. So put 3 on the board, but from that far into enemy territory, probably hoping for more.
Yeah, I think they're going to get together on the sideline and talk about it, right? Because you get that far, that deep, you want to come away with a touchdown. They'll take the 3, but they're going to file it away for the future.
Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And we essentially have a brand new ball game. After that last field goal has tied us all up, we brace for what should be an exciting rest of this fourth quarter. Rodgers going to throw. Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
Well, as we all know, possessions are crucial in a tie game. And let's face it, I really didn't need to tell you that. You already knew it. So when he sees he's got nothing good going, an excellent decision to just send that one to the sideline.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Rodgers. This one into the hands of Metcalf. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Throwing is Rodgers. He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. Looking for Pickens. He's got him on the out route. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. This is 1st and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Warren. Here's 2nd down. They'll keep it on the ground. Warren. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. Up the middle they go. It's Warren. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. So here we go. On now is the kicker, Chris Boswell. This for the lead in the final stages. Boswell's kick is good. And with a little over a minute to play, they have taken the lead. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they managed the clock exactly right.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Broncos offense and Jaleel McLaughlin headed onto the field. And it's hard to believe you could run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, it's all been on display throughout. Back to throw. Over the middle, he finds Vele. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. We are inside of 1 minute, only 1 timeout left, so they've got to move quickly.
Get up to the line of scrimmage, make sure they're set. No penalties in this situation, but you're exactly right. Conserve that timeout for when they really need it.
He's back to throw. Now the Broncos will use their third and final timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. Final minute, no timeouts at their disposal. Here's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. And that's going to be caught by Sutton. And he's going to be pushed out of bounds inside the 10-yard line.
Oh, man, that could wind up being the key play of the ball game right there. Defensively here, you know they've got no timeouts. You've got to keep them away from the sidelines. Here, not only do they get the big yardage, but they get out of bounds as well.
Here we go, 1st and goal. Back to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute. CD, that was an all-or-nothing drive to win this football game, and they rose to the occasion to take the lead here in the waning moments.
And how about how they got it done? No timeouts left. They take it downfield, execute perfectly, and get it done. Now they don't leave their opponent with a heck of a lot of time on the clock.
Lutz good on the extra point, and that will make this a 4-point game. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And it's capped off by the late touchdown that puts him out in front here in the final minute of the contest. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The visitors' offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time. And that is incomplete.
Probably time for 2 more shots, and ideally, they'd like to get to midfield or so they have a chance at a Hail Mary on the final play.
Another try, 2nd and 10 now. Rodgers to throw. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. Well, this crowd trying to force a false start here. 3rd and inches. To throw is Rodgers. Able to find the open man. That's complete. Now they burn the timeout, and they're kind of in that gray area where they might be able to get 2 plays in, but maybe just 1 play left in this ball game. We'll see. Here's 1st and 10. Back to throw, Rodgers. This for all the marbles. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Oh, and this is nervous time now. They decided to go for it right there. Fortunately, still a little bit of time left for another shot, but this one almost certainly has to be in the end zone.
They'll come up now on 2nd down. One final try for Rodgers. We've seen this before. This for all the marbles. And it's incomplete. Rodgers has done it before, but he won't get the connection here, and the ball game is over. What a game we were treated to in this one. And on that final play, they had a chance. They had the ball just beyond midfield for one final shot, but couldn't get it done, and they suffered the loss.
Yeah, and you mentioned how they had a chance on that final play, and getting it to midfield gave them that opportunity, hoping they could find their way to the end zone and make that miracle happen. A really good ending to an entertaining contest, though.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Broncos are winners as we say so long from Denver.